This is the most dangerous mountain bike event in the world, and these are the top 100 moments.
Look at that, a backflip!
Oh my God!
This is Kelly McGarry here, and this moment changed the sport of freeride as we know it.
Notably, he's wearing jeans.
What an iconic moment. One of the most insane back-to-back stunts ever performed at Red Bull Rampage. You're not gonna see this one coming. Are you ready, Michelle?
No. Ah! Bienvenido didn't just send the canyon gap, he backflipped into it, then front flipped out. My mind is flipping out.
Ooh, I know what this one is. It hurts just thinking about it.
No, I don't like that you said that.
Antoine Bizet, out of France.
A double backflip!
Double backflip! Oh! Unfortunately, slightly under-rotated on that double backflip.
Both wheels made contact, but too much energy.
I cannot wait to see him come back and nail that. Antoine Bizet back for some redemption. Can he become the first to land a double backflip at Red Bull Rampage?
Oh, I'm not breathing again.
Here he goes. Can he land it?
Let's go!
Boom! Lands the double backflip.
Who the heck decides to throw a double backflip on mountains like these? Insanity. He came back to get it done.
This is Andrea Lacondeghi. Sketchy doesn't begin to describe this moment. He is literally living on the edge with this last run that he absolutely has to nail. Oh.
Wow!
Look at that, he's going off course.
Wow, and he saves it.
How did he pull his way back up onto that ridge? And look at this.
Woo.
He has this, right? He's got it in the can.
Oh.
Can you believe that happened? So close to bringing that train into the station.
I can't believe he's already raising the stakes this early.
The greatest mountain bike slopestyle competitor to ever do it, more wins than anybody, more Triple Crown titles than anybody. This is Emil Johansson's first run.
As he was about to take off, I almost thought it was a mistake when he put his foot on the ground. 100% intentional.
Look at that.
Clean. Feels like he just stopped time in the air.
Didn't he just hold the extension on that for so long? Puts his leg over the top of the bike, it's called a can, and just held it for the photographers.
He basically blew a kiss to the crowd for fun.
We're about to witness Kurt Sorge make one of the hardest Red Bull Rampage tricks look incredibly easy. Oh!
Whoa!
He was testing the wind there. Here we go. We've seen him flip off this in the past. Here's a variation. Did you see what he did with his leg? Check it out. Here's this angle.
One-footed.
Yes.
So that's not a can-can. Knack-knack.
Yeah, knack-knack. Can spelled backwards. Real deep out here. We're real deep with our trick names. This run by Nikolai Rogakin shows how even the smallest of slip-ups can completely take you off course.
Oh no, I don't like when you start racing that. Ah! That's gotta be 20, 30 feet that he just fell.
Can you believe he got back up after this?
He's standing.
What do you think the chances are he finishes this run?
He's getting back on.
I knew you'd like that.
Are you kidding me?
Not kidding you, an absolute beast.
Wow.
Pops back up. Not only does he finish his run, he jumps across the 70-foot canyon gap.
Well, that was absolutely gnarly. And Cam, I have a feeling it's only going to get gnarlier.
Look at the path that he takes into the canyon gap.
And that wide shot really shows you how impressive and thin these lines are.
He always finds a unique canyon gap here that nobody else touches.
Oh my gosh. Whew.
Hardest part about hitting something like that is guinea pigging it. That's what we call hitting it for the first time and hoping it all works. Brett Reeder breaking new ground here. Up until this point, we'd seen a lot of 360s, a lot of backflips, but we'd never seen a backflip with a 360. Oh, that shot is beautiful. Isn't that nuts? Look at this.
Wow.
He is backflipping, he is spinning.
And perfectly spotting the ground with the rest of his body still have a half turn to go.
You will not meet a single person who isn't impressed by what Brandon Semenuk can do on a bike. And you're about to see why right here on this run. Watch his foot on this one. Drops his foot off, touches it down on the lip, pushes off.
Wow.
These are these little subtleties that Brandon Semenuk is able to incorporate into his runs. Those are the reasons why he's won 5 times. This is the moment where everybody realized, okay, Godziak isn't going anywhere. He's going to be on that start list every year. To do that into the run-in of this jump as well.
That's crazy. That's kind of a lily pad in and of itself.
The backflip suicide no-hander.
What other tricks does this magician have up his sleeve?
When you think Cam Zink at Rampage, the first thing that comes to mind is the big rotations off the biggest cliffs. But you got to remember, he always checks the boxes up top by dropping into the steepest chutes. Look at this one.
I mean, look at that. It almost looks like from the wide shot, he's just free falling. He may as well be base jumping with Sean McCormick off of that.
Pretty much. It's so steep, it might as well be a drop.
Well, that is one way to set the tone, and I know we're going to see more of Zink.
Just when you think you've seen it all, Shimon pulls off something like this and leaves you stunned.
Incredible. Double backflip. Incredible to see the progression of this over time.
And how a double backflip at the beginning, when we saw Antoine Bizet going for it, seemed like a send, and this one looks like a calculated risk executed to perfection. You're going to want to hang around here and watch this one from his perspective.
No. Oh, gosh. What a crash. And standing immediately.
Here we go, the backflip off of the step down. You can see he's angled just slightly too far rider's left. Puts him right into the wall. Ricochets into a bush and off the trail.
Not a bush ruining your day.
Here we go, Michelle. Are you ready to see the most narrow and exposed line ever in the history of Red Bull Rampage? Here comes Brendan Fairclough as he tackles the battleship.
I mean, look at how thin this line is. Paper thin.
That's a feature that for years and years, riders would just ride alongside. It wasn't even considered to be part of the course. Just an anomaly chunk of rock.
And it really does look like a battleship.
It does. At Red Bull Rampage, riders are scored on 4 things: difficulty, amount of air, tricks, and control over their run. Brandon Semenuk nailed all 4 with this winning run. This is one of the biggest moments in his run. Check this out.
No.
It's called a tail up.
No.
But what's even more interesting is he did it on a feature where he had to catch air immediately after landing, and he did it his opposite direction, and then followed it up with this. It's a big technical trick called a backflip tail up, and you usually only see that in slopestyle competitions, not out here in the big train of Virgin, Utah. Look how casual he makes this look, Michelle.
Butter.
And if you know Brandon Semenuk, you know he's got a lot of tricks in the bag. The hardest part for him is deciding which ones to do and then figuring out a way to execute them when the pressure's on and the world is watching. Here's what started it all. Look at that speed. Crispy Chris Bowman in 2001.
They had to digitize some VHS tapes for this one.
That's right. He's literally dodging cacti on his way to the finish corral. The tricks and lines only get more dangerous and harder from here. This trick coming up right here is probably the most vulnerable trick you could ever choose. This is a trick that'll make you question the laws of physics.
Woo! Wow, that's amazing.
Big Superman over that 70-foot canyon gap. But how do you up that? Get both your legs off running alongside the bike. Take your hands off.
He's fully detached from the bike. Have you done that?
Yeah, I have. And I'll tell you from experience, if you're planning on doing that trick and the wind starts blowing, you pick a different trick.
I'll take your word for that.
This is Kurt Sorge right here, standing on the shoulders of giants. A guy who has won this event multiple times. At this point in 2015, had already solidified himself as somebody to look out for. And he's looking to up the game right here, dropping a Rampage run for the history books. Kurt Sorge knows what it takes to win, and it's stuff like this. A big run that checks all the boxes, and a backflip. Look at this, takes his hands off.
So much air on that incredible height.
Here we go, wardrobe malfunction loading.
Wow, nice.
Huge backflip, oh!
His pants are falling down?
His pants are definitely falling down. Watch the back tire make contact with his rear end, rip those drawers down. Let's see if Tom Van Steenbergen can keep his pants on in this run.
Oh, goodness.
Front flip off the top drop. He's working his way over to Biggie Smalls. Hard to ride, even harder to backflip off of. This is another one of those flat drop backflips.
Oh, no.
Ooh,
No.
a lot of wind.
Oh!
Ha! That is a 37-foot vertical drop. There's calculated risk, and then there's this trick by Cam Zink. This is a guy who's been here since the beginning. He saw that new big icon sender drop.
Oh my God.
Cam Zink showed up to this venue and said, I'm gonna backflip off of that thing. Oh, and just you wait.
What a finish.
We talked about standing on the shoulders of giants. Cam Zink likes to be his own giant. Zink didn't just hit any old step-down backflip. He went big and hit the biggest step-down backflip in Red Bull Rampage history. You want to talk about history? Here's a historical moment for you. Not only was Robin the first woman ever to compete in Red Bull Rampage, but she did a freaking backflip.
Golly.
Pretty big difference from the first run in the men's field where you didn't see any backflips like that.
She did a freaking backflip? Are you kidding me?
This guy right here, Brett Reeder, he never ceases to amaze us. You'll see why here in a minute. Spoiler alert, this is a winning run right here from 2022.
Wow.
If that looked gnarly, it's because it was. But trust me, it gets gnarlier. This here's Robbie Borden. You're never going to guess how the crowd gets involved in this scenario. It's from the first ever event back in 2001, where it was still very much an experiment. Take a look at this.
Oh, man. Oh my gosh, the crowd is rushing in to help him.
Wait till you see what could have happened.
Not the reveal. The zoom out reveal to where he would have fallen.
But of course, Robbie Borden, completely unfazed, gets back up to the top, stomps that drop. Now, one canyon gap is insane, yes, but Brendan decides to do two here and then does a backflip. Canyon gap number one. Canyon gap number two with a flip.
And canyon gaps are scary because if you don't make it to the other side, it's a very long fall.
A long way down. This is a move you will not want to miss. The inception of Kyle Straight's signature move.
Kyle clearly broke ground with being the first rider to do a no-hander at Red Bull Rampage, but I have a feeling there are some more Kyle no-handers upcoming.
This right here was stepping out of the expected. This is Tom Van Steenberg, and this is the first time we've ever had this move, which is called the caveman.
Caveman?
I don't know why, but that's just what the kids call it. Doing a caveman anywhere in a Rampage run is obviously risky, but to do it at the very start showed all the other riders that Tom came to play. Chelsea Kimball, a rider who is so mentally strong. Listen to her talk to herself.
She's her own hype woman. Also affirming people are having fun doing this too.
No!
Dang, no! She's back up! She's back on her bike!
And this is where the resilience is on full display. After that crash, she hops back on and sends the biggest drop at the venue.
Holy smokes! That was huge!
Instagram handle, Chelsea Sends It.
That's nuts.
And no false valor there. Chelsea does in fact send it. So same rider here as we just saw doing that caveman. Look at the intense impact coming up here that Tom's body withstands to keep control of his bike.
Oh.
This drop coming up, which is nicknamed Biggie Smalls, here you go. Watch how he over-rotates just a touch.
Oof.
Oh, you see?
Oh!
A little bit too much rotation. Watch how he landed on the back wheel. You need to have so much strength in your arms and your fingers to not have the handlebars pried out of your hands. Look at this. Luckily, he was able to have the strength to hold on. So that is where the time in the gym pays off.
The tricks and lines only get more dangerous and harder from here.
This Cam Zink Canyon Gap crash will literally have you on the edge of your seat.
No!
This was the night before the finals. Cam Zink putting some last-minute preparations in. He entered this jumps run-in at a higher up point that would have scored well, but it gave him way too much speed for the jump.
Oh!
What's wild is that we'll see Cam very soon again after this gnarly encounter. Spoiler alert, you're not going to hear the sound of a smooth landing on this one, unfortunately.
No!
This one's going to be loud. It may involve exploding tires.
What?
Your favorite tacoed wheels.
No!
This is a crowd pleaser right here for all the wrong reasons.
Oh?
Looks perfect.
Oh!
No!
Gosh.
Wheels obliterated, but somehow this beast of a human is unscathed. Look at this, way too short.
Oh.
Not only did his back tire come up short, his front tire tagged it as well.
Oof.
Look at that wheel. What'd you call that?
Tacoed.
Must be Tuesday. Brandon Semenuk. He was an absolute beast for trying out this first ever flat drop flip at Red Bull Rampage, which means there is no curved takeoff on the edge of the cliff. He's got to initiate the rotation just by body weight.
Wow. That was such a short distance.
The body control, the balance, the strength that he must have to execute this trick is hard to wrap my brain around. It's freaking awesome. This move won Best Trick in 2008. The rider was Thomas Vanderham, and I'll tell you what, it was worth all the hype. This is no joke. Oh gosh, Michelle.
Ooh.
Vanderham's ability to send it full force here for the no-hander is beyond epic. Throwing it back with a Red Bull Rampage OG. Look at this clinic. This is a rider who races World Cup downhill. G. Atherton, a world champion, was never a stranger to Red Bull Rampage and always rose to the occasion.
He absolutely is a legend in all of the mountain cycling disciplines for sure.
G's speed and style was clean. Up next, how about a dose of filthy? Ooh, this one's fun. Cam Zink really set the tone for things to come. This is 2010. Cameron Zink, before even seeing this drop, decided what he wanted to do off of it. A huge 360 drop.
Whoa.
Just when you think these lines and these riders have peaked, someone will always drop in and prove you wrong. Crowd favorite here, Brendan Fairclough. Watch what Brendan does. He went absolutely insane with this move. Brendan decided he was going to find his own canyon gap. It looked impossible, but look at that.
Whoa, that is amazing.
What an angle.
Oh, wow.
Video often doesn't do it justice, just how massive Red Bull Rampage really is. This event was crazy, even from the earliest days. And this run is an example of the big stakes these riders face. This event would not exist without this man, Joshua Bender, who was the visionary behind even putting tires to this terrain.
Oh man.
The riders were still figuring out how to build these landings and prep them to where they wouldn't sink in. And this landing is basically just a pile of sand. This is as rugged as it gets, Michelle.
The exploratory component of this sport is terrifying to me, but so impressive.
Exploratory, that's a great way to describe this. Keep an eye out for the crazy speed of the drop-in and then the tricks that Cam Zink puts together at the end. That is so steep, isn't it?
That was insane, the speed he picks up.
You've seen enough of these clips to know that he's got a big move planned.
I feel the anticipation building.
Here's where he starts to get tricky. 360 drop. Judges love it if you can link tricks back to back. There you go.
Wow.
Flat drop backflip, no kicker.
Right, this is the evolution of the flat drop on a much steeper incline.
You see the riders just take those moves and apply them to bigger and bigger features with higher consequence as the years roll on. They do not give out style awards like party favors at Rampage. You have to earn them, and check out the unique way that Emil Johansson throws these tricks. If I asked you to write your signature with your opposite hand, do you think it would look anything like your regular signature?
Absolutely not. It would be in a different language.
So that is a tail up one direction, linked together with a tail up the other direction.
So smooth.
And that's the type of added technicality you see with the tricks the past few years after 2 decades of evolution in this sport. Check out the speed Kyle Straight carries into this no-hander. Even the cameraman is struggling to keep up.
Whoa! Gosh.
He just continued to get better and better, bringing that suicide no-hander to bigger and bigger cliffs every year he rode the event.
Very impressive.
Just carry this right into another Kyle Straight highlight. This one 9 years after the one we just saw. What do you think? You're gonna see another no-hander here, Michelle?
If I had to guess, yup, and a much bigger no-hander, much deeper fall. The takeoff, you have to be perfect.
Such a good point. If you're not aiming the right direction, it would be so easy to miss the landings. Another Kyle Straight clip. This one's from 2023, and you can see a pattern evolving here. Kyle Straight, you can expect him to be at Rampage. You can expect him to chuck a no-hander, but we did not expect him to chuck a step-down backflip in the middle of his run. Of course, true to tradition, trademark. Kyle Straight suicide no-hander.
I feel like he's trying to give himself a high five in the back.
2002, Darren Barracloth, a BMX rider at the time, shows up as an alternate and does something that nobody had ever done in Rampage before. A Superman seat grab on a step down and landed himself a 3rd place finish. Have you ever seen Superman in real life? Well, now you have. watch the technicality in this run from Cedric Gracia. The significance of this run right here is the fluidity and his ability to not put a foot down. That was crossing over a new chapter in this sport.
You see him fully come to a stop, both feet on the pedals, change direction, and then continue on.
Even in year 2, athletes were pushing the boundaries and piecing runs together. Look out for the absolutely perfect control Brendan Fairclough has over his bike here. Check out this big rock he incorporates into his line.
Oh, I'm shaking just watching this POV. Oh my gosh. Oh.
So they nicknamed that rock Dwayne Johnson. And believe it or not, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, even gave a shout out on Twitter.
No way.
This run right here really illustrates how it can go from magic to tragic in the blink of an eye.
No.
You hate it when I give them those lead-ins, don't you?
I know, and you tell me crash incoming.
Kyle Norbratton, a fan favorite. All he needed to do was put a bow on this run. He could have had something magic. Finish line within reach. One more feature.
No.
So close. Now, can you tell what went wrong here?
A lot, it seems.
A lot. That's a good answer. He just didn't pull hard enough on that backflip, didn't get all the rotation, and landed on his shoulders instead of the wheels. This one is from 2002, the second year of the event, and this is legendary World Cup downhill racer Steve Peat. Most amazing thing about this run isn't just that Steve Peat decided to show up to Red Bull Rampage. It's that after this run, where he actually had a real good one, he decided, all right, I'm good, I'm out of here. Left the venue, headed to Vegas.
What? Didn't stay for the rest.
Check the box, I'm out of here. All right, I've done it. Take a look at the way Brandon drops into the course. This right here might be the craziest part of the run. This is gonna be another caveman. You remember that from that Tom Van Steenbergen clip we saw earlier.
I do.
Well, here's a guy, Brandon Semina, the strategist. He says, that was a cool move. I am going to incorporate that into my run. Look how smooth he was able to land right into a technical shoot.
To not only caveman, but to do it at the start is so risky. It could have ruined the whole line to come. But it really tells the other riders that he came to play.
Here we go, Szymon Godziak. Here's a great example of going a little bit too fast.
Oh my God.
Just a tiny little tap of the brake there could have put him perfectly to the top of the landing, but you can see just a mile or two an hour too much sends him all the way to the next cliff.
Gosh. And his helmet flies off too.
You never want to see a crash like that, but the fact that he walked away, unreal. And here's one of my highlights from the event. This is 2008. It was quickly followed by a low light as I went off a cliff with the wrong speed.
No.
But I think we're going to cut the clip before that, so we'll just pretend everything went great here. It's a little underextension on the suicide no-hander over that canyon gap, but I'll take it. It was a long time ago. All right, here we go, my little brother. So we've seen a lot of canyon gaps at Red Bull Rampage, but this step-down canyon gap is on another level. This is Tyler McCaul basically accomplishing a lifelong goal. He found this gap and pulled it off in the middle of his run.
Wait, that was amazing.
Big celebration. That was one of the biggest natural gaps ever in the history of the event, and that was just one piece of the puzzle that led to a third place here for Tyler McCaul. Good job, Tyler. Proud of you. Here's a good one. This is from 2004. This one has some historical significance. That's the first time anybody ever tried to do a 360 off of a drop at Red Bull Rampage. This is Cameron Zink, and obviously this was just the beginning of his now long history of big rotations off of cliffs at Red Bull Rampage, but this is where it all started.
Another person in jeans doing this. Genuinely, that's crazy. That might be the craziest part of these clips we've seen so far.
Craziest part about this clip is that he hadn't crossed the finish line yet. He started celebrating until somebody let him know, hey man, you've got a limited amount of time before your score gets thrown out. So he popped back up and sprinted into the finish corral. Oh, we got another Cam Zink highlight here. This right here, this 360 drop where he almost misses the landing. We're gonna get a POV of it. Look how close he is to going off of this thing. This is saying a lot because Cam Zink has done so many unthinkable acts in this event. That is the one I think is the craziest. That 360 drop. Ooh, I remember this one. He was so close. Spoiler alert, this one involves a canyon gap.
It's so exciting to watch this because in a way, oh my gosh! Oh man, I was so excited when he took off.
It looked like he was going to have it, didn't it? On those front flips, you were just staring at your lap. Take a look at this. You don't have the opportunity to spot your landing until it's too late to do anything about it. A little bit of an under rotation and all that forward momentum continued right into another somersault. So we've talked a lot about Brandon Semenuk. This was his first Red Bull Rampage in 2008.
Beautiful.
And what better way to start your Red Bull Rampage career than by winning it in your first attempt?
So impressive.
All right.
Another throwback.
2002, Tyler Super T Klassen. This is taking a double stager and dropping it from the top. From an amplitude perspective, this was a move that planted a lot of seeds to the other riders. We can go that big, okay. And it foreshadowed what we're about to see here from Clemens Cardella out of Austria. And you know inside that helmet, he's thinking, do I really want to try this? But this is the type of outside the box thinking that can make you a Red Bull Rampage legend. Are you ready?
Oh.
It's happening now. Oh!
Gosh. Ah.
Can you believe that?
No. Oh, man. To be able to stand up and walk away from this.
Look at how far down he goes. Look at where he wanted to land. You can kind of tell
Insane.
where the top of that landing was. He was 3.5 bike lengths further than that, and luckily his momentum stopped before he went off of the canyon gap. It's actually a blessing in disguise, the fact that he fell off the bike, because he would have had way too much speed to go over that canyon. Well, somebody's got to be remembered for the first ever wipeout at Red Bull Rampage. Why not the person who is also remembered for the first ever win at Red Bull Rampage? Take a look at this one from Wade Simmons.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Now, that was the original canyon gap. Pretty funny to think that that was one of the biggest gaps over a consequential ravine way back in 2001.
Barely looks like a molehill.
That looked like a molehill. We're about to see purely surgical speed from G on the gnarliest terrain out there.
So fast. Woo!
So knowing that he needed to finish this run strong, he thought outside the box here and created a new transfer right before the finish line. Look at this landing on an angle.
Wow. 90-degree turn upon impact of the landing.
Makes it so much more difficult.
Insane.
And for years after that, many riders tried to ride that and a lot crashed. Here's a fun clip. This is from the first ever Red Bull Rampage. The youngster, Kyle Strait, playing around on some small jumps at the bottom of the venue when they had a little impromptu jump contest, just hinting at what moves could potentially find their way to the cliffs in later Rampages. Oh, I'm so glad this is in here. I remember this like it was yesterday. The first ever front flip off of a flat drop at Red Bull Rampage. Oh, here we go. Whoa.
Wow.
The landing, you come down with so much more force on a front flip. Doesn't matter if there's a kicker or a flat drop for that trick.
Wow.
This is so incredibly difficult and so incredibly rad. So this may look simple compared to all the other highlights we've seen, but bear in mind, this is year number one where nobody was comfortable, but somehow Greg Smith in this third place run looked right at home. Hard to tell where the line is when the line is barely built.
Oh.
That's not the line.
No. Like you said, the earlier days of Rampage were more about, can we just make it to the bottom?
Well, that was year number one for the men, 2001. How about year number one for the women? 2024, Canada's Georgia Astle making one of the steepest chutes of the day look absolutely effortless.
Let's go.
Look at the control. Brandon Semenuk at it again, and this time coming into the lily pad feature. Watch when he tricks into this thing, how short of a period of time his wheels are on the ground before taking off again. Boom.
Wow.
Boom.
Oh.
So much consequence if you get offline or go too long.
And that wasn't a perfectly straight flip.
It was a bit crooked, wasn't it?
The way he corrected it was so impressive.
Brendan Fairclough up to his old tricks. This canyon gap is terrifying. If he messes it up, there's nothing down there to catch you. There's no airbags, there's rattlesnakes. We see that right there, a dead sailor, I'll tell you what.
That's crazy. He knew the risk with this line he rode, and he still went for it.
Cedric Gracia upped the game forever right here with Rampage's first ever backflip. This changed Rampage as we know it and broke ground for what was to come. Tom Van Steenbergen. Oh yeah, all right, this is great on here. Look at the speed, Michelle. biggest drop at the venue. Take a look at this.
Oh, wow. That looked amazing.
Just like a Hollywood stuntman.
Yeah.
Look how fast he tucks this front flip. He's already spotting the ground halfway down. This is arguably the gnarliest stunt ever done at Red Bull Rampage. The biggest front flip drop in history. 360s off a drop are hard enough, but look at the size of this one coming up. This was Carson Storch leveling up. Here we go.
Wow.
Bingo! Biggest 360 drop of his life up until that point, and handsomely rewarded with the best trick award and third place.
That sound when the landing is clean is so satisfying.
So Casey Brown, a rider who worked so hard to create a women's field in Red Bull Rampage, she solidified a legendary podium finish with this run.
It's crazy to look at that. And somebody looked at that and said, there's a line here we can go down. I look at that and say, seems like a nice view.
It seems like a nice view.
Casey made this look easy, but don't worry, the next guy definitely didn't.
Oh, I remember this one. Antoine is about to lose the front wheel in this consequential shoot. This was a gnarly crash.
Oh, no. Oh, he's still going. Oh, my gosh.
That one could have been way worse. It's good that he was able to stop before going off of a cliff. Guess what day of the month this was?
What day of the month?
October 31st. Bringing a little Halloween festivities to Red Bull Rampage 2004. Kyle Straight took the win and then put on a bear costume. Back to 2008, Kurt Sorge, such a smooth run, going for that canyon gap. And this was an early peek into what was going to be an amazing Red Bull Rampage career from Kurt Sorge. You could already tell how smooth he was back then. Another highlight from the always aggressive Andreu Lacondegui. Now at this venue, that starting point ended up being the only way to win the event. It was so exposed, so daring. Look at that side angle, so big. Andreu doesn't ease in. He goes for the money every time, and we're going to keep seeing that. Kurt landing this massive backflip on his first try is hard to wrap my brain around.
He had never rehearsed this. Is that what you're saying?
Which makes it really tough to sleep at night the morning before the event.
That's insane. Wow.
No-hander.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go.
Oh my God!
That's the move that did it right there.
That's crazy!
Big step down backflip on an exposed cliff. Everybody knew the consequence if this one was just a couple feet off. Look at that shot, the helicopter floating in the background, the crowd just soaking it up. This is the moment where we realized that Reed Boggs meant business. This was him leveling up and chucking a gigantic 360 drop.
So impressive.
Brett Reeder, a law-abiding citizen, unless you're talking about the laws of physics, he is about to literally defy gravity on this run. Oh, man, just the style, how corked out he was. Look at this.
Oh, man.
I guarantee you Brett Reeder would feel less safe standing on that cliff than he would backflipping off of it on his mountain bike.
You just said an insane statement.
Ethan Nell, as a little kid, he would come watch the event. All this stuff just seemed normal to him. Eventually, he found his way onto the start list. The first 2 years he rode it, third place, both years.
Wow.
You think, well, if I'm not going to just ride off that cliff. I got to take my hands off. That's what Kyle Straight would do. I saw him do it when I was 6. So this was a really cool tribute. Brendan Fairclough rebuilt this line in tribute to Rampage legend and a great friend to all of us, Jordy Lunn. And so as a tribute, Brendan Fairclough went back, finished Jordy's line, incorporated it into his own run. But that section is coming up here right after stomping this backflip over the canyon.
Oh, wow.
Brendan went and tackled this steep technical chute through a crack that Jordy had started building and then not finished. Here we go. This is the part.
You can hear how heavy he's breathing.
This is one of those moments where you realize there's more going on here than just sport. This can be about community. Kyle is about to set the tone here right out of the gate, dropping right into the belly of the beast. Look at how on the brakes he was.
That's crazy.
Now, some of the features like this, the build teams actually rope in and rappel down to be able to carve out the ride line.
What?
What? This is Chris Van Dyne. The run's going great until that wind decides to show up and has other plans. Take a look at this.
Oh, wow. You just see his front wheel in the air turning.
So brutal. You don't even have to look at a flag to tell that the wind was coming from his left, and those wheels turn into sails, and it just sweeps the bike out from under you. And then next thing you know, you're on the ground. We're seeing a lot of James Dorfling's body here. What do you think about his outfit of choice?
Incredible choice to do this in a tank top.
I mean, a tank top is an article of clothing you typically see in professional sports, but that sport's usually basketball, not freeride mountain biking.
Or beach volleyball.
Yeah. James Dorfling, this is the mountain bike version of a swoosh three-pointer there. Exhibiting some confidence here, saying, I won't need pads because I'm not gonna crash. All right, an old clip. Let's throw it back to 2003. This is Andrew Shandro coming off of a World Cup downhill background. Super technical, steep shoot. He found himself on the podium. Now, you're really going to have to focus on Shimon's flow here. No one does it like him. He's completely locked in. Look how he's hitting his marks here.
Very smooth. The way he is landing every time has so much beauty to it.
Perfect.
Barely any wobble.
For sure. Good observation. He's so precise. Here's a big 360 drop. See how that one, the angle of the takeoff and the landing are slightly hipped as well, so you have to be even more precise. There's your POV.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Did you see how he's spotting his landing through his armpits on that front flip? Graham Agassi, another mountain man out here. The extension on Graham's no-hander is wild. And watch what he does with the landing here. Can you tell how he just has a riding style that makes you want to get on your bike and go ride?
He really looks like he's having fun.
That's it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Brett Reeder back for more.
Oh.
Front flipping the drop in. Flipping a flat drop is hard enough. But Brett Reeder throws a surprise in here mid-flip too, just because he can.
Oh, that was incredible.
Let's see if you can call this trick.
Can.
There we go, the backflip one-footed can off the cliff.
That's insane.
Insane, right? Look how crazy this setting is. There's cliffs on both sides, no room to carve, but Lakondegi still sends a flat spin like it's no big deal.
Wow.
I can't believe he held on to that one.
I thought that we were about to watch a crash happen.
Now you see he's the guy who looks like he's crashing and then somehow saves it.
What a shot. Look at that. Riding that tight rope of a ridgeline.
So this run right here was the start of Kurt Sorge's dominance in this event. 3 wins in 5 years. Always clean, always dangerous, always under control. Take a look at this. Back when there were pre-built wooden features here, 2012.
So impressive. Oh!
That's a can because he's putting his legs on the side of the bike, but with both legs, so that's called a no-footed can. Right into the step-down backflip.
Oh, man.
Kurt is always clean, always dangerous. Every single turn here is going to be a gamble, but Logan just doesn't care and sends it. That was that quarter pipe transfer we remember from that G. Atherton clip. Look how smooth he lands it.
Oh, wow.
So this is Darren Bearcloth. This run was so raw, rugged, and true to the roots of Red Bull Rampage. Look at how unique this line is. You can't even tell where he's going because it's barely built. What a legend. Steve Romanuk, big throwback here to 2004, a year where the riders were taking limbs off the biggest features. We see him there go for a big one-footed table off of the man-size gap. This was one of the gnarliest hits of early Red Bull Rampage. This caveman drop from Tom Van Steenbergen is full send right off the bat. Look at that.
Massive precision.
He was trying to jump as short as he could because the gap on that was about 6 to 8 inches. This landing is insane. Robbie muscles through one of the roughest hits we're about to see and just rides on like it's nothing. No prep landing here.
What did you just say? No prep landing?
Yeah, that was completely raw and rugged landing. He had not gone out there with shovels and water to pack it in. So rugged. And this is a trademark Thomas Janon run right here. A lot of these riders show up to the venue and something immediately jumps out at them to ride.
Wow.
He sees 2 consecutive cliffs and says, I'm ready to do a 360 and link it into an opposite 360 on 2 cliffs. Ooh, this one. Wait until he hits the quarter pipe transfer step down. It is absolutely crazy. James Dorfling tackles the quarter pipe transfer, and that's what can happen when it doesn't go to plan. Look at his bike, Michelle.
Oh, his bike is completely broken. The suspension and front wheel is hanging on by the brake cords.
Yeah, when the only thing holding your bike together is the brake line, I think you're done for the day. This line from Brendog was terrifying to witness. So exposed. Here we go. Oh! Look at this.
Woo!
That landing is only a bike landing. All these riders just have such a good beat on these mountains. They know them like the back of their hands. Another guy who always delivers, of course, the winningest competitor in Red Bull Rampage history, Brandon Semenuk. Such a strategist. There's that backflip one-footed can-can.
If you make 1 inch wrong move, you're kicking the top bar, your seat, anything.
Can Cam Zink do what he says he's going to do and backflip it?
Insane!
I mean, I know what's coming and it still blows my mind. Look at that. The Icon Sender is the biggest hit at Red Bull Rampage, and Zink doesn't blink. He just flips it.